Yo, what is going on today, guys? I'm back here for another discussion video. This time I'm going to be just ranking what I think are the best decks in the game. So I have this like tier list. Basically it has every single card in the game, like the final evolution. So I'm basically just going to be taking like, so for example, like if I take Pikachu EX, I'm basically including like all the meta relevant Pikachu EX. If I put like Pikachu in S tier, which is the best decks in the game. We already placed Pikachu down. Yeah, I think Pikachu is the current best deck in the game. It struggles still in the Mewtwo matchup a little bit. I have seen some people starting to use Galvantula, bro, to actually have a really better, like a better matchup in the Mewtwo matchup. So that is something to think about. And yeah, I mean, the main reason is Striker just dominates against Gyarados. So Pikachu being up here, like I said, it's like the Raichu variant, which I guess I could just put Raichu up here too. I mean, the Raichu variant is just like low key actually. Yeah, I think the Raichu variant is like I think is about like the same strength. I mean, because you have access to Electabuzz, which is like one more energy than Substriker, but if you go second, it doesn't really matter anyways because going first, Substriker is better. Going second, Electabuzz is better. So it's like it's literally depends on what like the head slip at the very beginning of the game is. Yeah, but like I said, the main thing is just the match or like the matchup in the Gyarados is just super broken for Pikachu. Being able to easily snap against Magikarp, and then basically just having a really good matchup against every other deck in the game. And then along with Pikachu, we have Gyarados. Gyarados Druddigon Greninja is a very standard build that everybody is using, having one of the highest usage rates in tournaments. Yeah, I mean it's just broken. Greninja and Druddigon like allows you to one-shot Mewtwo, as Mewtwo is going to take 20 damage, putting it below 150. Obviously Gyarados does 140 damage. Its ability literally is game winning. I've lost so many matches to Gyarados like sniping an energy in the back, which I needed that one energy to live, bro, on like a Venusaur, for example. And yeah, I mean, there's just not much to say. I feel like everybody kind of like knows why these decks are super good. Um, yeah, I mean, dude, Gyarados is just a broken EX card. Like, not only is it super tanky at 180 HP, 140 damage, which is super respectable, and the ability to discard a random energy, bro, from your opponent and winning the game off of that, bro, is just crazy. And next up, we have the obvious Mewtwo. I'm not actually going to order these, but I will say I do think Pikachu is the best deck in the game just because it does counter Gyarados like super bad. Or like, yeah, it like literally dominates in the Gyarados matchup, and Gyarados is literally the highest usage rate deck, like I said. Therefore, I do think Pikachu is the best, although it does have like a problem in the Mewtwo. So who really knows which is better at the end of the day. But yeah, Mewtwo is just broken. It only got better with the addition of Mythical Slab and Mew EX. I know people are starting to not use Mew EX in the deck anymore in favor of like Jinx or something for the Celebi matchup. But I mean, it's been doing the same thing, bro. Gardevoir loops 150 damage, one-shotting almost everything in the game. And if they don't one-shot you, they just one-shot you on the next turn with the second Mewtwo, or if they live, they it's the same Mewtwo. It's very simple enough. We all know what Mewtwo does. So now for our next deck, I am going into Venusaur just because I see it at the top left and it's calling my name. If you asked me before I started entering tournaments with Venusaur, I would have said B tier myself, honestly, because I feel like before Mythical Island, I feel like it was actually in a super bad spot. With the addition of Leaf and Mew EX, I actually do think Venusaur is an A minus deck. I think it is actually a lower high tier deck because it has a super good matchup into Mew EX, Pikachu, and Gyarados, which is obviously I think are the top three decks in the format. So I mean, if you have good matchups into those three, you should be a solid deck. So I personally think Venusaur is A minus. Basically, um, Exeggutor EX and Erica is also another reason this deck is so good, as those are two of the most broken cards in the game for grass types. And if you want more like details on why Venusaur is good, you can either watch my top three placing run that I uploaded like yesterday or like a couple days ago, or I'll probably make another discussion video on like more reasons and like all like the small details where like matchups for Venusaur like being good against like what and like losing. So I'm kind of like yapping. I feel like I'm looking not making sense for right now, but basically Venusaur I think is a low high tier deck. So for our next deck, I see right here actually Exeggutor EX, and this is like Exeggutor EX with Celebi. Let me just find Celebi real quick. Exeggutor EX with Celebi is super good. Exeggutor is like usually like the build is like two Exeggutors, two Celebis, and the one Mew EX. Also, Celebi EX also with Superior is also a super strong card. I don't think it's one of the top, like I do think it's a top deck in the format. I just don't think it has the overall strength of these decks. I feel like these decks are just super consistent. where Celebi does have the coin flip aspect, so that is like the one weakness. Like sometimes you can get those like super unlucky games that can just lose you tournaments. So, and by the way, this tier list is more competitive focus than like the online ladder, because the online ladder you can literally play anything, bro, and have success. Uh, these are just more like the competitive, like this is like the competitive side of the game. So like if I say something is bad and you're having like really good success on like on it's just like playing online with it, that's probably why. And I'm not saying like, but like at the end of the day, dude, this is like not a competitive game. Play whatever you want, whatever you have the most fun with. So just fuck tier list, man. Honestly, fuck tier list. I'm kind of just doing this because I've made a video on it and I wanted the yap. So next up, there's not really any more grass types. I guess there is the Victory Bell deck. I guess I will include it. The Victory Bell deck is like more rogue. It's more of like a niche option that you can play and it can have success. It can catch like some people off guard with the Pokeflutes edition. It's usually like Exeggutor EX and just Victory Bell. So I guess that is something to think about. Lilligant is kind of just like outclassed. Like you technically can play Lilligant Celebi, but I'm not gonna include it just because Exeggutor EX Celebi is just the better version of the deck. So yeah, that's it for grass types. For fire types, honestly, dude, I think Charizard is also a low type, like a low high tier deck. If it's by itself, if it's with the Arcanine package, or if just pure Arcanine itself, I do think pure Arcanine is actually like high tier. Charizard just has the consistency issues. So, and Mew EX really does counter the deck now, which is super unfortunate. That's why I think the Arcanine version is better. Because you can get the knockout with Arcanine, and then you could bring like Charizard in for a last like winning point scenario, where like if you knock something out, Mew EX can come in and then copy you and then knock you out yourself. So that's why I do think the Arcanine version with Charizard is better than just the pure Charizard version. And I guess I might as well just put Moltres up here too, just because they're usually partnered. Next we have Belaine Ninetale slash like Rapidash, low high tier deck. It's still super good. It's just has the same weakness, which it like the deck is super fragile. You have a lot of low HP Pokemon. Like none of your Pokemon are over like 100 HP, so it's very easy to get knocked out. Like, and there's just better fire type decks, bro. Like there's just better fire type decks, to be honest. And I'm gonna include Flareon also. I'm gonna put Flareon in like probably Rogue, and also like Loki Flareon could be B tier. I do think Flareon's actually super good, and the meta with Celebi like is everywhere, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna put I do think Flareon on Loki is better than Victory. Maybe it's not better than Victory, but I'll put Flareon on Rogue for now. Maybe I'll move it up. But for all the I guess I could also include like Scorch and Rogue technically, because it's like basically the same thing as the Charizard. It's just like a worse version because you have to discard the energy. Next up we have Blastoise. I do think Blastoise is like probably like a mid tier deck. I think I actually think Blastoise is pretty solid. The only problem with it is Gyarados is literally just a better Blastoise EX. So there's not like really a reason to run Blastoise where you need one additional energy, where Gyarados only needs 4, Blastoise needs 5 to be super good. And it's a 2 stage where Gyarados is only a 1 stage. I guess the only benefit is you don't get easily snapped up with Strika. But sometimes it is hard to set up Blastoise, and sometimes you literally just do not draw the evolutions. And you have like a 5 like energy Squirtle just waiting in the back. I will say the addition of Vaporeon does help this deck around. You can play like more stuff like Articuno EX in the deck and then swap the energy around, which is super cool. And it maybe even could be like a low high tier deck. I just think I'm gonna put it in mid tier for now. I don't think it's bad. I actually personally really love the deck. But I think Gyarados, like I said, just does everything Blastoise does just 10 times better. So next up we have Starmie EX, which is honestly like a deck that just I feel like doesn't get played a lot anymore. I still do think Starmie EX is super solid. But maybe this is just like a nostalgia pick, like putting it in high tier. I just don't see Starmie EX is just a super solid card, 90 damage, 2 energy, no retreat cost. Yeah, it's just super good. I just literally think people don't play it anymore. And there is like this like new Greninja bro, I think it's like Greninja Exeggutor EX or something, or like Greninja Mew. I'm not too familiar with it, bro, so I'm just not gonna rank that actually. It's probably like high tier or low high tier. Who knows? I'm just not too familiar, so I'm doing more like I feel like Greninja is usually like an engine instead of like a main part of the deck. So I really don't know where I'd put Greninja, but I mean Greninja is just a broken card, so I'll keep that in mind. I mean, looking at the water types, I mean, I guess there is the Articuno deck, which is probably like an A, like a yeah, it's probably like a low high tier deck. Um, Somewhere around here. I mean, Articuno is like also another water type that doesn't get played anymore. Everyone who's playing water types really just does play Gyarados, but the deck's still super solid. It's just very like underrepresented like right now, just because everyone, like I said, is playing just other decks. And I think that's it. I mean, we have all these electric types here, but these are all just cards that go in the Pikachu deck. So like I said, like I already put Pikachu up here. All the good electric types already go into the Pikachu deck, so there's no reason to like rank them separately. We have Alakazam, which is actually a super solid deck. I guess I would probably like, I don't know, maybe I should put like A and then A minus here. Maybe I should do that, but um I don't know. Alakazam's is like super solid, bro. It's really good. I don't know. The only downside is it's a stage 2. Uh but its partner, which is the new Pokemon, I totally forget his name, but this dude Behem, super good in the deck. Or I see people run like a Mew variant, so I think for now I'm gonna put Alakazam here. Actually, Loki, I'm gonna put Alakazam in A minus. I think Alakazam is actually super solid. We have the Golem deck, which I think this is actually old. I think this is the old one. We need the new Golem, which I think the deck is super strong. I just don't think it's like top, like high tier. I think it's like low high tier. I mean, I know it won that one tournament, but maybe it is here. But no, actually, I'm gonna put it in A plus. I really do think it's good. Maybe I could just put this like an A instead of like an A plus, like A and then A minus. I think that's like a better. I don't know. Or maybe I really, you know what? Actually, I'm going to make another row. I'm gonna have this be A plus, and then I'm gonna have another A category, and then I'm gonna like move some stuff around. I think Starmie is A. I think Golem is A. I think all these are fine. I think I'm gonna move yeah, I'll move Charizard up to A, and I think that's fine. Yeah, I think I like this. I like representing like the decks like this better. Let's see, what else do we have? I don't think we have any other Psychic types besides Gengar. I think Gengar is a rogue deck, possibly B. Actually, I do think Gengar is like stronger than these decks in the rogue category, so I will put Gengar in B. And then moving on to the fighting types, we have Machamp, which I think is, I don't know, man. Like, I guess it could be like an A minus deck. Yeah, it's probably A minus. Machamp, yeah, it's like, I don't know. Also could be B though. Like, it's just like, I guess low key, I'll put Onyx and Rogue just because. I feel like Onyx is low key slept on. I feel like people just don't play Onyx. Actually, like super solid. I'll put Onyx and Rogue, dude, just because I'm not too sure exactly what to place. I'm also gonna put Marowak EX in B, and everyone just stopped playing Marowak EX and suddenly says the Pokemon sucks after being super good last patch. I think it's just because no one's really playing it. Like, yeah, it's the coin flip, bro, so it's gimmicky. So I will give it that, but it's still a super strong card, and I actually do think it's better than Gengar. So I will put it around here. Probably better than Blastoise too, because it's only stage 1-2 energy. We have the super aggro Primeape deck, which I'm going to put in A. I just don't think it's like good enough to be an A plus. So I guess I'll also grab Aerodactyl and like Marshadow, you know, kind of like, because they're all like kind of like grouped together. And then this like basically, and then I guess I'll put Farfetch too, because Farfetch like there's a different variants, because there's usually like the Primeape or the Farfetch variant of this. It's just a super strong deck, very hyper aggressive, like early game. What else do we have? Let's see. Yeah, that's all the fighting types that are really meta. Next, we go into Arbok, which is Rogue. We have the Wheezing Scolipede, which I think is also an A, probably like an A minus deck. Probably the top of A minus for me personally. I think the deck just has some weaknesses. Tauros does help in the Pikachu matchup, and obviously he's really good in the Mewtwo and like decent against Celebi. But I feel like the deck definitely does have consistency issues because like obviously Scolipede is a stage 2, and sometimes I don't know, like sometimes you just get unlucky because you really do need the evolutions. If you don't draw like one of the evolutions like early on, the deck does really struggle. So that's like the one downside of the deck. Just for fun, we have Nidoqueen and Nidoking, which are just they're just god awful design cards. Like forcing a deck to have 2 stage 2s is just really bad. We have Melmetal, bro, which actually got second place in a tournament I was in. And I actually do think it's like B, probably like above or around Blastoise. We have Dragonite, which I'd also put in the B category. The addition of Druddigon made the deck better. We have Wigglytuff, which is also probably B. It's more. It could also be Rogue. It's just a sleep gimmick deck, so it literally depends on the coin flips. What else do we have? I'm not seeing the card I want. Okay, here it is. Pidgeot EX is a deck I also think is an A- deck. It's super solid. What else do we have? I think that is actually it. I guess we have Lapras EX, which I'd put in Rogue. Lapras EX is just pretty bad. It really is just, honestly, it is really just bad. And then we have Druddigon, which is S tier because Druddigon is literally one of the most broken cards in the game. It probably is the best card in the game, like the most generic card. Honestly, I think it's the best Pokemon in the game. Just because you could literally splash into like almost any deck. That's not Pikachu EX. And I think that is it for the rankings of the deck. I'm not seeing a single more like another card like that represents a deck I could put in here. Let's see. Maybe there is one that I'm missing. Oh, we have Electros. This is probably like a rogue deck also. Or like a very gimmicky deck, bro. Like I made a if you saw my video on it, bro, you'd see how funny it is. Obviously like paralysis. And yeah, I really don't think there's a single. I guess I'll just put Greninja in A just because Greninja is like a super good card. I'm not really too sure where the like your ninja decks are, so I'll just like put it here now. I don't really know where it is. Like I said, this isn't really ordered. It's like sort of ordered, bro. Like some of the decks, but not necessarily. You can like change like these around. And yeah, I really do think that's all the meta relevant cards slash decks. Like low key, like I could take Flare on Tennis. Like this whole row category honestly could get deleted. But I just thought I'd include like a little additional like cards because why not? And yeah, I think that is everything.